Welcome to this beginner's guide on how to use Snagit to capture image and video. Let's begin with capturing an image so I can add it to my lesson on real-world math. I'm going to teach a lesson about the math of billiards. I found a photo, so now I'm going to use Snagit to capture it. Here's the photo I'd like to capture, so I click open Snagit. I'm going to capture just a specific region of this web page, and I don't need any effects, and I don't need to use a time delay. So I'm going to capture something right away. I click on the red capture button and I move the crosshairs. And then I click and drag out a section of the photo that I want. Let go. And now Snagit's companion editor program opens up. And I have a few other editing options for this photo. I can crop the photo, bring it in a little bit here, and then click crop. That's perfect. Now what I can do is add an arrow. I think I'll make the arrow size a little slimmer, arrow size line thickness 10, and then I'll click and drag and let go, and I've made an arrow. You can choose different kinds of arrows from this menu here. You can click on that arrow and move it around by its handles, make it longer or shorter. Now I'd like to add some text, so I click on the text button and I click and drag out a section, and I just make sure I choose the color that will contrast nicely against its background. Perfect. Now I could also add callouts and shapes, but instead I'm going to either choose to save this here as a photo on my desktop or in a folder, or I could just copy it right now with this button, and I can now just transfer that to my math lesson. Paste it right in. It's a little large. I'll click and grab the handles in the corner and make it a little smaller. Great. Now, perhaps I want to make a video about how to do this math equation. So now I'm going to use Snagit's video feature. I click on Video tab here. I'm going to have my webcam off for now because I want to have the students just focus on what's on the page. And I might turn microphone on if I was making a math lesson, but I'll leave it off for now because I'm currently making this screencast. It's not important to see the cursor here, and it's not important for them to hear the system audio because I'm not playing any audio. I'm just doing a math equation. I now click Capture, drag out a region of this page, and when I'm ready I click Record and I get a little countdown. Then I would just demonstrate this math to my students, and as I said, I likely would leave audio on so that my students can hear my directions. Perfect. Now I hit stop. Once again, Snagit's editor program opens up, but being that this is a video, you can't edit very much with it, so I'm just going to preview it. Students like to hear a voice if you leave the microphone on, and they get more instructions that way if you narrate what you're doing in your video, and the students have the added bonus of being able to go back and forth over the instructions until they've practiced it and got it right. By hitting share, I can now save it as a file. It'll save as a very common file format, MP4. I'll put it somewhere temporarily for now until I decide where I'm going to upload it to, someplace like OneDrive or Teams, where I can share it. I hope you've enjoyed this beginner's guide to using Snagit to capture images and video. Please submit a lit request if you'd like to know more, and one of the members of our team will be with you shortly.